Let's start off today by mentioning that virtual school enrollment is now open. So for those of you who are not seniors, I know several of you are seniors, you don't care about virtual school enrollment, but virtual school enrollment is open this week and next week. So that's different than signing up your classes. You already did that. This is to say, I would like to have my classes in virtual school instead of in the building. So should be open. I will be posting something in Google Classroom this morning, a link to that, but you can find it on our virtual school website right now. So you can go to the virtual school website and sign up to be virtual next year. But I will post the link also in Google Classroom here shortly. Other than that, let's talk about what we are doing this week in Algebra 3. Let's go to our grade screen, see where we're at. Okay, so we're done with Module 5, Module 6. And last week we had these 4 very, very short practice assignments in Khan Academy about matrices. So matrix dimensions, matrix elements, representing linear systems, and then finally matrix row operations. So I do want to look at that real quick before we get into what this week's are, because there's everyone did pretty well, didn't struggle much on dimensions and elements and represent linear systems. But when we get the matrix row operations, I saw some people struggling with that. So I do want to hit that as a review here for those of you that need to go back and want to go back and redo it or haven't done it. Let's take a look at it real quick. I got a couple of problems. I just pulled sample problems that apply. So if we have this matrix right here, so this is what, a 3x4 matrix, 3 rows by 4 columns. 3x4 matrix. And this is what it says: -5R1 arrow R1. Okay, so what that's telling us to do is take row 1, multiply it by -5, and replace row 1. So nothing is happening with row 2 and row 3. So we can go ahead and put them in the answer, because those don't change. Okay, so we already know 2/3 of our answer. But we need to take -5 times row 1, which is -9, -2, 3, and 7. So that's going to be -5 times -9, 45, -9 times, -5 times -2, 10, -5 times 3, -15, -5 times 7, -35. So that, taking that right there below, replaces row 1. So this is the new row 1. 45, 10, -15, and -35. So that's the answer. Taking this matrix, performing this operation on it, -5R1, becomes the new R1. Like once we do that, what do we do with it? Well, replace R1, the first row. Replace the first row with this. That's the answer. Let's do another one. Here's another type of one that you might have had. It randomizes different problems for different people. This says, again, we're going to replace row 1. So right away, again, I know that row 2 and row 3 did not change because it didn't say to replace those. Row 2 and 3 are staying the same, but row 1's being replaced with row 1 minus 5 times row 2. So we would say, okay, well, what is that? Row 1 minus 5 times row 2 would be, let's see, row 1 is 3, 2, 6, 9. And we're going to minus 5, row 2. Row 2 is 1, negative 4, 7, 5. So we're subtracting 5 times row 2. 5 times row 2. So that means we're going to take 3, 2, 6, 9 and subtract from it. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. 5 times 7 and 5 times 25.
Email me if you have any questions, please.
Okay, so that is 5 times row 2. So let's take row 1. We have to take
5.
each element in the place that it is. I subtract the first element from the first element over here. So 3 minus 5 is negative 2. 2 minus negative 20 is 22, because that makes it plus 20. 6 minus 35 minus 29. 9 minus 25 be negative 16. So that becomes our new row 1.
I will probably start getting things graded
Negative 2, 22,
week, so if you want
negative 29, negative 16.
Please show your work.
So that becomes our new matrix. We take the original matrix.
You did email
With that, we do this operation. We take the first row and subtract 5 times the second row and replace the first row. So that gets replaced. Everything else is the same. It didn't tell us to do anything to anything else except for row 1. Now we used row 2 to change row 1, but still row 2 stays exactly as it was over here.
And
row 3.
it just helps me make sure
All right.
that.
Does that help? Anyone got any questions on what we did there? Because this week we're adding and subtracting matrices, and I think we're getting into multiplying matrices. So when you add or subtract, here's an important thing you're going to learn this week when we talk about adding and subtracting matrices. You can only add and subtract matrices if they're the same size. 0, 3, negative 4. And then you have another matrix over here that's 2, 0, 7, 4. This is a 2 by 2. This is a 2 by 2. And let's have a third one over here. Say this one is 1, 1, 1, 2, negative 4, 6, 0, 1, 0. All right, this is a 3 by 3. If I want to add and subtract matrices, I can add these two together. I can subtract these two together, but this one is by itself. I cannot add a 2 by 2 to a 3 by 3 because what would I add? Would I add this 2 to the 1, or would I add it to the 2? Or is what? It doesn't match up. You have to add the 1 to the 2 or subtract 1 minus 2. You add the 0 to the 0, the 3, the 7, and the negative 4 to the 4. So they have to be in the same position. If we added those together, our new matrix would be 3, 0, 10, 0. If we add this. 1 plus 2 is 3, 0 plus 0 is 0, 3 plus 7 is 10, negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So it has to be the same size to add or subtract. So let's look real quick and see what we're doing this week. So we're going to add and subtract, and it talks about matrix equations, addition and subtraction, and then multiplying by a scalar. If you multiply by a scalar, that's this. 5 was a scalar right here. We multiplied by 5. Okay. We can multiply an entire matrix. We'll put a 5 out here. Put a 5 out here. That means we multiply everything by 5. Multiplying by a scalar value. So we'll have that, and then matrix equation, scalar multiplication. So that is our assignments this week. Again, when you look in Google Classroom, which we will do right here.
Okay.
Look at our classwork for this week.
Okay. So what I would
March 6th through 10th.
is
All this stuff, add, subtract, matrix. We also have, when you look in Google Classroom, Matrix Quiz 1. So let's go back and look at our activity screen.
okay. So we need to get that.
Okay, here's week 28. That's where we're at. You have, again, before the practice assignments, you do have the video. Click on that. You got, doesn't last very long. These videos are generally less than 10 minutes. Let's see how long this first video is. That one's 5.5 minutes. 5.5 minute video. We'll go to the next one. Here's the written article. If you don't like watching the videos and you'd rather just see it on paper, this is also good. Even if you watch the video, you should go to the article because it, again, gives you examples and shows you how to do that, but it also has some practice in here. Check your understanding. It gives you to and say, add them together. What is A plus B? Here's what A is. Here's what B is. Can you add them together? And then you can check to see if you are correct. If you can't get it, then you click the little explain button and it will give you the explanation. It shows you exactly how they did the math. So it does have some check your understanding practice problems, adding and subtracting, and scalar multiplication as repeated addition. So if you had A and you said A plus A plus A, that's the same as 3A. We could just do it as a scalar multiplication, 3 times what A was. So, all right, then it gets to all the comments on there. So good stuff there. Then of course your assignment, your practice assignment, add and subtract matrices assignment. Get in here, it's got the 4 problems each time. Just 4 practice problems. Ready to practice. Let's go. And it'll pull up A, B, C, and D. And oh, here's a good question right off. Which of the following are possible? Can we add A plus B? Can we subtract C from A? Can we subtract D from B? Can we subtract B from C? So these matrices, which of those is possible? Because we can't just pick any 2. This is a 1 by 3. This is a 2 by 2. This is a 1 by 3. This is a 3 by 3. Remember, they have to be the same size. So most of these, there's only one of these that's even possible to do. All right. Let's look down here at the quiz. At the end, after you get through week 28, here's your quiz. And your quiz is here on Buzz. It's not in Khan Academy. So I just wanted to point this out. When you see all this up here, see that long line of like, what is that on top of the matrix? That is how you have to type it in to make Buzz show it as a matrix. So you can ignore that thing up there. That's just a big mess. What is the dimension of the following matrix? And then here's the matrix. That's what you need. This is just the way Buzz has to have it typed in so it'll show it like this. So look at that. What's the dimensions? What is the 3,4 element here? How would you write the following system of questions as a matrix? Here's your system. Which one of these 4 matrices matches that system? Here's a row operation. Row 1 plus 4 times row 3 becomes the new row 2 on this matrix. So which one of these answers is correct? Which one of those 4 matches doing that? This is a nice one. In the following matrix problem, x equals what and y equals what? Well, here's x right here. Here's y right here. If we were adding these 2 matrices together and we end up with this matrix, what do those numbers have to be in order for that to work? So you got to type in an x and type in a y. So 7 problems, not too bad, but this is an EOL, the 7 problems. So if you have done all of these other practice assignments that we had and did well on those and understand when you missed one, you understand how you did that, then you won't have any problem with our quiz this week. So, and then next week, right before spring break, we'll have some more, lots of videos, not much practice, lots of videos, and then you'll have another quiz next week. So we'll have 2 quizzes here before we get to spring break. So close those down. And this is going to take us halfway through April before we get out of matrix units here. So, all right. Any questions on that? I like that you have all those videos that explain all these things. Khan Academy does a really good job of explaining. And so you can go through there. If there's something you don't understand what he's saying, get with me. I'm happy to go over that and make sure you can understand it. But he does a really good job of it. I like watching his videos. It's a good refresher for me sometimes if I'm like, okay, why am I getting the wrong answer? I can go look at his videos sometimes and figure out what I did wrong. But he does a real good job with that. So, all right, if you haven't got last week's done, you need to go through those because there's the quiz this week. This quiz covers both weeks. Quiz covers both weeks. So you want to understand last week's and this week's so you can nail that quiz and get that done. So, all right. Well, nobody's got questions. I'll let you guys go. Remember, virtual enrollment's open for you juniors. And we'll see you guys next time. Get your work caught up if you're behind.